Hello, my name is Tara, and I work for Vestavia Hills Library in the Forest. In today's Creative Corner video, I will show you how to create artwork using buttons. Buttons, these essential tools to clothing, are often overlooked for anything else. However, did you know that these little items can be used for other things as well? You can upcycle or transform them into new and fun items such as art and craft projects like these shown here. You can create anything, like bookmarks, Christmas ornaments, clocks, flowers, hairpins, jewelry, and picture frames, to name a few ideas. In today's video, I will show you how you can upcycle buttons by creating artwork with them by layering them on top of a painting. For this video, I will show two different painting ideas as inspiration. However, you can create anything that you want with these buttons, using the techniques as a helpful guide. For this project, you will need the following supplies: canvas, buttons, beads, paint, paintbrushes, water, paper towel, glue, tape, color pencils, markers, and newspaper. For both paintings, the first step will be to prepare your canvas by either removing the plastic or packaging that may have been on it. Next, you will take your palette and pour out a bit of each color that you want to use for your painting. The first painting that I will demonstrate today is a tree going through the 4 seasons. I will show you how to paint the different colors for the sky for each season, painting the tree, and then the different colors of the buttons. In this painting, I will have summer on the top right, fall on the bottom right, winter on the bottom left, and spring on the top left. For each section, you will paint the background to match each of the seasons. To get started, you will take your masking tape and apply tape to the canvas like this at first, with one strip down the center and one strip dividing the right side. As you are painting on each section of the painting, you will add and remove tape, painting very carefully to try and keep a clean, crisp line, creating the 4 sections. Next, for each section, you will take a bit of white paint and apply it to the canvas before painting any color. This trick was something I learned from watching Bob Ross and how he would apply a layer of liquid white to the canvas before painting. You will do this so that the canvas is already wet, and it will help to blend the colors easily. For summer, I went with a mix of greens and yellow. Fall, I painted yellows and oranges, winter a soft blue, and spring a fresh, light blue-green color. Once the paint has dried, you can start to paint the tree. Using brown paint, paint the tree any shape that you want. For mine, I tried to make sure that the branches were in the spring and summer section, and only having one branch in the fall and winter section. While the paint is still wet on the trunk, you can paint in the lighter sections, giving extra details and to match each season better. For the fall side, I added in some orange to the highlights, painting it in with vertical strokes to look like tree bark. I did the same with the winter section, adding in a bit of light blue. Once this dries, you can start to add in your buttons, and if you have it, beads as well. For each section, start to glue on the buttons you want to use. One trick that I found while doing this was to use the end of a paintbrush to help to place the buttons so that I did not get glue on my hands. To do this, place a bit of glue on where you want the button to go, and make sure that the end of the paintbrush has a bit of glue on it as well. Using the end of your paintbrush, tap the button that you want to use, and then place it where you have already applied the glue onto the canvas. An extra detail you can do is to paint the buttons if you don't have buttons in the colors that you want. After everything has dried, you can add in extra details by using your coloring pencils and markers. For winter, I added in a bit of snow on the tree branches and some details onto the tree trunk for both winter and fall. For the second painting, I wanted to paint a tree that I love, so I picked a purple weeping willow tree that is next to a lake at sunset. To get started, apply a layer of white paint to the entire canvas. Next, start to paint in the background. Because the background is a sunset next to the lake, you want to make sure that the top portion of the image is reflected on the bottom portion like you would see in water. Start by applying yellow to the center horizontal line, stopping about 2/3 from the right. Next, apply 2 shades of blue, with the light blue closer to the yellow and the dark blue on the outer edge, like so. You can blend the three colors together by doing horizontal strokes to make it look like the paint is ripples in water. As I was working, I added in bits of the three colors I was using to look like highlights on top of the water. Next, take some of the dark blue paint and paint some hills in the distance. This will help to give an edge to the lake. Next, while the painting is still wet, add in a bit of purple to the bottom portion of the painting to create the reflection of the weeping willow on the water, like so. Once everything has dried, you can then start to add in your tree. Here I have painted a brown tree to the right. As I was painting, I decided not to add a lot of branches, knowing that it would be covered up by the weeping willow later. Next, start to paint in the land that the tree is sitting on. Because the light source is the sunset in the center, you will have to paint a lighter color closer to the sun and a darker color closer to the edges. Here I am using a warm green color closer to the sun and a neutral green towards the edges. If you have a flat brush, you can do upward strokes to make it look like grass, layering the different strokes on top of each other. You can also add shading to the tree by painting lighter, warmer colors closer to the sun side and darker browns toward the edge. Next, you can start to add in the weeping willow flowers like so. Again, because the light source is in the center, you will paint a darker purple on the outer edges of the flowers and a lighter, almost warm pink purple color on the inside of the flowers. Once this has dried, you can start to add in your buttons, and if you have them, beads as well. For this painting, I wanted to use buttons and beads that would match the purples and pinks that I was playing with for this image. I first applied the beads because I had more of them than I did of the purple buttons that I added afterwards. Again, I repeated the technique of using the end of the paintbrush to help place the buttons into place. Place a bit of glue onto where you want the button to be, then pick it up with the end of the paintbrush that already has a bit of glue on it, and then place it in the glue that is already on the canvas. An extra detail I added was by placing a large button where the sun should be, and then painting it a rich yellow color. After everything has dried, you can add in extra details by using your coloring pencils and markers. Here I added in some small flowers and details to the tree and grass.
And there you have it. You now have a painting that has upcycled buttons. I hope you're able to use the techniques featured in this video for more creative projects. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.